Paul, welcome to
Hey,
Bourbon and
bud.
BS.
Thank you.
Good to have
Happy
you
to be here.
here. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Um, First of all, and I know we were just talking before we started recording here,
Yep.
but I don't know if I ever saw your half sleeve tattoo the way I see it today.
Oh,
Is that
yeah.
new?
I'm like you. I've got some have some tattoos. Yep.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Is
Thank
that
you.
newer or older? How long has that been?
No. I've had it for a while. I think I've told my wife this over the last 5 years of dating her and now married that I'm like, oh, I'm gonna add on to it. Gonna add on to it. I just haven't done anything
You just
lately in
haven't
like
done anything yet.
just
Yeah.
8 years. So it might get more work done to it, or it might not at all. Who knows?
There you go. Hey, this is
Yep.
this just like this conversation. You're shooting from the hip.
Yo, always. Yeah,
Let's
always. Like I tend to not be able to do anything else.
So look, everyone, we got Mr. Paul Harrington from Usurpa here, and Paul, as you know, we are going to be drinking bourbon,
Yes.
and then we're going to be BSing.
Yep.
And so I'm going to pour this drink, and I have something to say because look, I'm drinking Sagamore Rye again. For those of you watching again, you see that this is one of my favorite ones, and I'm just going to pour it in. I got this new big square piece of ice in my drink this time. I usually have little gold ice, cold things.
Yeah, I saw those. Yeah.
Yeah, but this time we're going all out. And Paul, what are you drinking?
Well, I am drinking, and I've got actually in my
Ooh,
glass, I've got a Death Star mold for those
yes,
Star Wars nerds out there.
yes,
So I'm drinking just to kind of pay homage to where I'm from, Tin Cup whiskey from Colorado.
very
So
nice.
that's it's not bourbon per se; it's American whiskey, but um, it is delicious regardless. So
Yes, yes, it's perfect. So it's called Tin Cup.
Tin Cup, yep.
Got it, and it's made right there in Denver.
hmm
Awesome.
Yeah, it was. Have you heard of Stranahan's whiskey?
No.
Okay, well that's another Denver company. It was kind of like a mutual parting of two people that created Stranahan's, and he kind of made this is a. It's actually a relatively inexpensive bottle, but it's up there for me. I really like it.
So look, this is a first time in Bourbon and BS. This is made in Baltimore,
Ah,
and that is made in
hey,
Denver. And
hey,
so
perfect.
look at this. We're representing our cities, everyone.
That's right. That's
Um,
right. That's good.
All right. Well, listen, let's get started. And
Okay.
I know you, and so I want to start in this very special place called the Sports Place. Tell me real quick, what is the hat that you're wearing on your head right now, and why is it so
So
important?
yeah, so I am wearing a Colorado Avalanche hat. They're about to puck drops in about an hour here. We have the best Avalanche team we've had in a very, very long time. So we are very excited here in Denver. And I was working earlier watching the Nuggets game on a different screen as well, and Nuggets won today. So I couldn't be more excited right now. I'm having a good time with Denver sports right now.
You're a proud. Listen, you're drinking Denver whiskey. Your sports teams are winning. You got a big smile on your face.
I do.
It's a good time to be in Denver,
Absolutely. I love
and a
it.
good time to be in the mortgage industry. To be honest with you.
Yeah, no kidding. And something I was going to tell you on this glass that I'm drinking out of. Can you
Yeah,
see that logo?
I do look houses. I see little houses.
Yeah. So that logo is from a company. I don't know if anyone on here is going to know of it, but it's a company called CTX Mortgage, and they were around for a really, really long time. And I just have a really long history of mortgage. I was just watching the last episode that you posted, and he also came from a mortgage family. I came from a mortgage family. So it's just funny. I was like, you know what? I got to throw this glass on it because my dad got this as like a present and something they were doing it probably in '95 or something. So it's
All
kind of
right.
funny.
Shout out to CTX Mortgage. If anyone from there watches us, give us a little comment. Say, hey, thanks for the
Yeah, see
shout
if you
out.
remember that company. No longer a company now, but it was really big back in the day out of Dallas.
So I also know something about you that maybe most people don't know, and that's that you're a musical human being. And we can see some of that with the guitar behind you. Is
Right.
that your instrument? Is that what you play?
Yeah, that's kind of what I took to. I actually started off when I was really, really young playing piano. There's a piano behind me too.
Oh, there, that's right. It's
Yeah.
got a plant there. So,
And so
yeah.
piano, guitar, and honestly, I don't play it as much anymore, if at all, in the last probably 5 years or so. But I I played saxophone like in the band in high school. So from like 5th grade until I graduated high school.
Yeah.
So that was actually probably what I was best at. It's just kind of one of those instruments that it's hard to keep up. You know, it's loud, it's, you know, and everything. But that was probably what I was best at. But I liked guitar more because I could, you know, write some lyrics that go with songs and everything. With saxophone, I mean, you're just playing melodies and everything, which is great. But I like the instruments where I can sing and play.
And do you have a musical inspiration? Is there someone that was like when you, so I know in the saxophone part that was through school, but you were the best at it because you had so much experience. But now that you are more grown up and you have choice, is there someone that inspires you? Is there something that you hear or someone that you hear, they're like, ooh, I got to grab my guitar and write something? Or
that's a really good question. I would say I like just finding new artists and all different types of things. I tend to really not gravitate towards pop music that much. There's nothing, I mean, it's good music a lot of times. Sometimes it's just not my style. So I like trying to find like deeper tracks and finding some things. And there's, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I really, my wife actually showed me Ray LaMontagne back in the day, and I really liked his voice, and I really liked one of the albums he had. So that was a really cool one that I had. Yeah, I kind of just, it varies. It really does. Like I like, and the thing is, I like all different kinds of music too. So I really like the folky type of like singer-songwriter type of stuff. But then, like for instance, when we were in Nashville and we saw the singer-songwriter thing, the country artist, like I'm not like a huge country fan, but I really like the artistry of that. And it was so cool to see the people that actually wrote the songs playing. So that's what I really like. It's if you can write your own song,
yeah,
and it's like not like super poppy, then I'm in. Like I'm super in.
Yeah, that's so okay. So let me ask you this: like America's Got Talent or American Idol, do you watch those things? Do you look for for that kind of talent there?
That's actually a pretty interesting question because I never watched those shows, but over the last like few years, my wife, she liked them because she grew up watching like season 1. She was a big American Idol fan. Right, so I was like, oh.
And she's a singer too, isn't she? Doesn't she? She a musician?
She sings, yeah. No, she's probably a better singer than me, and I have a lot more training. So it's
wow, it's natural.
Kind of annoying, but also really impressive.
But go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, so she really got me into like last couple seasons of American Idol. So we watched them, and there was a guy called Alejandro that took 2nd place in one of them.
Oh yeah,
and he was so good. Did you watch American Idol?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I mean, how good was Alejandro? I mean, that was like
the guitar
playing. I was like, okay, I get it. Yeah, his. I have no idea how you can even do that. I see the words across her face now, saving my last breath for you.
And he took 2nd place, and then he goes on to making a huge career.
Oh yeah. I had a feeling too because the guy who won, I was like, I mean, I was kind of
Lane. It was Lane. It was the country guy who, by the way, was on before, and then he definitely stepped it up. I mean, he killed it. He would have gone on to have a career anyway.
Right.
So
good looking dude, can sing really well. I mean, that country genre, it's like a perfect avenue for him.
It's perfect. Yeah, it was perfect.
It's definitely a harder route for someone like Alejandro. Doesn't have like a crazy good voice, but unbelievably like genius musically.
Absolutely. The songwriter and just everything. So okay, so you don't really get into those shows, but your wife got you into them, so now you're kind of
so then I've actually I watched the last 2 seasons. I haven't watched anything this year yet, but or this season, I guess, but the last couple of seasons I watched them.
Well, since we're talking about watching stuff, what was the last thing you binge watched?
We kind of go through phases. We just watched a show called Little Fires Everywhere. It's on Hulu. Reese Witherspoon, Kerry Washington, really good, really kind of thought-provoking. It's kind of like a coming-of-age type of thing, but it's got a lot of it's set in like the late 90s. So I mean, I'm a 90s kid, so like everything spoke to me there. They're playing these covers of songs like Alanis Morissette, but just done by someone else. I was like, I remember that song. Okay,
it brought you back.
Yeah, so it was all nostalgic for us. We were like, oh, this is great. But it was crazy, and there was a bunch of like, you know, racial undertones, like injustice. I mean, it was set in the 90s, but I mean, so much of it was brought in, like what's going on now and all the stuff, you know. I don't need to get into that, but it was really good show. Really, really good show. Highly recommend it.
Yeah, cool. You know what? It's the one outlet for streaming that we haven't gotten yet.
Yeah, and that's the only show that's the only show I've really like that's an original of Hulu that I've ever seen. I have Hulu just because I watch live TV on it. That's about it.
I heard there's a great show there with I think is it Little Dicky? Does he have a show?
Actually, I watched some of that. Yes, he is hilarious.
I heard it was awesome.
He's so funny. Yeah, that one is a good show. Dave, it's a really good show. I would highly recommend that one too.
Yeah, please, anyone watching this and thinks they love it, put a comment and let us know, because I'm thinking of getting Hulu just for that show. Dave, that's right. It's called Dave.
Yeah, it was really good. You should. I watched that a while ago. Yeah, it was really good.
Have you ever seen his freestyle on Funk Flex?
I know I've seen the one on the Breakfast Club. Or Sway in the morning.
Sway. That's what.
Yeah, yeah, I did see that. Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah,
it's incredible.
He's so talented. Like, if he would just be a little bit more serious, like he would absolutely own the rap game right now. I think. Like, he's so talented, but he wants to be a comedian. So I don't blame him there, because he's killing that niche.
He's killing it. And let me tell you something. So first of all, we'll put a link to that as well. But there is a song on one of his albums where he goes in to talk to Snoop Dogg. And he comes into this office, and you've heard it. And he's like, "It's like, I'm here to see Snoop Dogg." It says D-O-G-G. And he gets in there and he starts telling Snoop like why he's the next star. And his thing is, he says right there, he's like, "Man, I bring the funny to this thing, man. Like I got a new spin on it." And then his show is representing that. So
exactly.
I think, man, I don't know. Does Hulu offer like a 14-day free trial?
I think they might do something like that. I'm sure they've got something like that.
Because that's how you
binge watch that and get out.
Well, that's the thing, though. That's how you hook me. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
You give me something free that really works, then I don't ever turn it off.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm totally in. So same thing.
Yeah, you find other things. You're like, oh, that was great. Well, $8 a month. Come on, who doesn't? Yeah, exactly. Who doesn't have $8 a month to do something?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, we can do this. Yeah. Then you look at your bill. You look at all your bills. You're like, how? That's a lot of $5 charges. That's a lot of $5 charges. Okay, now it means something, but what do I cancel because I use everything? Damn it.
Yeah. How did we sign up for all of these free services that aren't free anymore?
Exactly.
That's my wife's thing. She will literally go, "What is this?" I'm like, "Oh, it's a free trial." She's like, "Well, it's not free anymore."
Yeah, we had to do a max exodus of a lot of those things. We're like, okay, we're spending way too much money a month on all this nonsense.
Did you cut the cord with cable though?
I did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We did the same thing.
Yep. Yeah. So I just so the way I watch sports is just through the Hulu Live. It works out pretty well.
Yeah, I think
pretty delayed though. It's kind of annoying because I've got notifications on my phone, so I knew that the Nuggets game was over before it was. I was like,
but shoot, because is Hulu like 1 hour behind?
No, and it's not quite that bad. It's a couple minutes. It's not
a couple minutes. Okay.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah.
Got it.
Depending on how fast your streaming system is or whatever.
Yes, but if you're paying for some of the sports apps, you're getting updated before you get to see it. So is your thing like when you're getting ready to watch something that you don't want to be, know the result of, you'll turn off your phone or you'll turn off notifications?
I try to. If it's a team that I follow, and if it's a casual sports game, I won't care. But if it's a playoff game like that's happening right now, I'll kind of try to not see anything. Yeah, I kind of wanted to watch it all the way to the end if I can.
So you live in Denver,
Mm-hmm.
but if you were to be given a choice, an all expense paid vacation, would you choose a beach or would you choose the mountains?
That's a really good question. And I kind of I think what I would do is I would go somewhere that has a little bit of both. Mm-hmm. Meaning, maybe not mountains per se, but if you were to go to Italy or Greece, you can get onto the coast very easily, but then you can get inland and see all of that rich history and culture. That's my style of vacation. I like going to Europe. That's really what I love to do. But if you can get in Europe close to a beach, that's like perfect for me.
Got it. So that's very interesting. Okay, so
Yeah.
you're a Europe. You like Europe in general. That's I
I
think.
do. Yeah, I've been there a
Yeah.
few times. I've been lucky enough to go there a few times, and every time I go, I just have a fantastic time. I happen to have a cousin that's very close to me, she's like a month older than me or something like that. And her husband moved from the States to Prague, Czech Republic.
Oh yeah.
So Alice and I went over there a couple years ago. We flew into Paris, had like a nice, stay in Paris, and then we flew to Czech Republic because it was like cheap to go from there to there. So that was like a blast. I had such a fantastic time.
Now is because you mentioned Italy or Greece and now Czech. Is there one place in Europe that stands out above the rest for you, or is it
I would say that I really liked Prague. I thought Prague was such a cool city. So I recommend Prague for anybody because it's off the, like, it's just kind of off of what like you would think, but it's got such a crazy rich history over there. Of just like my cousin's husband happens to be a tour guide there, and he's a history major, and he just is a nerd about history. So his tour was fantastic. We're just looking at all this architecture and the history behind it. And it's like you see these old buildings, and then you see this building that looks like a cinder block, and you're like, oh, communism was there at one point in time,
Yeah.
And that's where that building came from. That makes sense, So it's just kind of funny. It's just funny to see that. So Prague, I would say, that was a really, really cool one. And then I had a really fantastic time in Paris. I thought it was a great time. We just had a great time sitting on the patios outside, just drinking wine and having conversation, people watching. It was just great.
So we have an amazing gentleman that works in our financial department. His name is Peter, and he says Czech Prague. That's his final destination. Like that is where he is going to live, the best place on earth. Period. Like the history, the ambiance, everything like that to him was, and he's going back. As a matter of fact, when we went fully remote, he had made a joke. He's like, "Does this mean I can move to Prague?" We're like, technically you could. You would just have to work weird hours while you're over there.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Technically you could. So it's interesting. So let me switch topics on you just a minute. Although maybe it's keeping in the same realm. This is a question that we must ask because we're going to be keeping a tally of this as we move forward. I know you have a very specific diet and regimen that you guys are on as a family. So I will ask, and you may not have an answer for this. Pineapples on pizza, yes or no?
It's a yes for me. I like them. So here's how I can't have like just pineapples on pizza. It's like I like the sweet and the savory of the pizza, having them. But if I'm gonna do pineapples, it's almost like I have to put jalapenos on there as well, kind of get the sweet and spicy. Yeah, like I don't know. That's like my favorite pizza actually. Jalapenos, pineapples. That's it.
Exclusive here. Hold on a minute. I've never even heard of such a thing.
It's wild. I know. It might just be my thing. I don't know. I don't know if a lot of people do that, but
I'm gonna try it.
I love that type of pizza.
I'm gonna try it this weekend.
You gotta try it, yeah, because you get the spiciness. I don't know. I like it.
But the pineapple with jalapenos, I've never heard of that. That's a good one. All right, there it is. It's almost like it's almost like one of those spicy margaritas or something.
Exactly. No, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah, because you get the jalapeno lime margaritas. Yeah, those are real good. Yeah.
Yeah, and that is so. My wife is that's her kind of drink, the margarita. When she gets that spicy one, it's like I want some of that too, because there is something savory about that. Are you guys still sticking to all those because you guys were fully vegan?
Yeah, no, we she there's no change in her. She is 100%, and for the most part, I would say I am too. Like I'll have some fish every once in a while. I mean, I can't give up sushi. It's my favorite food, but I mean, it's too good. I just can't. Like
Denver has some big places for sushi.
What's that?
And Denver has some amazing sushi spots.
Yes, we do. Yeah, I mean, my dad lives a block away from Sushi Den. Is a real popular spot here. these two brothers. One lives in Japan still, the other one lives in Colorado. So he has like really exclusive fish that he can get, daily flown in. So it's fantastic. I mean, you pay for it, but it's fantastic.
Yeah, you pay for it.
You definitely pay for it. It's not an every weekend type of thing,
So let's change this up one more time. What was the last gift you gave someone?
The last gift I gave someone. So my wife and I actually recently celebrated our 1-year anniversary. So thank you very much. So yeah, cheers. Hey, cheers.
Yeah.
So we recently went to, because with COVID and everything, we didn't want to travel, that far, but we went to Telluride and Pagosa Springs here in Denver, southwest, or not Denver, Colorado, southwest Colorado. And it was a blast and everything, but I gave her a watch, kind of commemorating like time passing and that type of thing for the anniversary. So that was the last gift I think I gave anybody, was her. I gave her a watch.
Cool. Yeah. That's nice. Now, do you guys do like a regular thing? Now that with COVID, it's probably changed, but do you guys do like a regular date night type of thing, or are you like your style is spontaneity, shoot from the hip type of thing? Is your wife into that, like whatever happens happens, or do you guys plan?
Well, let's put it this way: what she would like versus what happens is maybe sometimes different, because she is a meticulous planner and I am not. So
that's why you guys are perfect together.
Yeah, exactly. Except for the fact that she's just like, well, why didn't you plan any date nights? I'm like, oh, yeah, no, I probably should have done that. So we'll put it this way. I try.
You sing her a song when she says that. The minute she says that, you're like, honey, let me explain it to you in song real quick. Where's that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the only way I get out of things.
That's it.
No, but I think when I do plan, we try to do at least one thing a week that we plan. So because whether or not she plans it or I plan it, it's mainly her. But when I do, she gets really excited about it. So I try and do that as much as possible. So I would say about once a week we try and just make sure we have something planned that's for us that we do. Yeah.
I will tell you a little secret. That weekly thing will change when you have kids, because the weekly thing becomes the thing with the kids.
Right.
And then your thing, you actually get to live out your spontaneity, because then it's like, hey, the kids are going there. Why don't we go here? Right? Like then you get to be super spontaneous and just
right. Yeah, because you have some time. You're like, right. I didn't know we were gonna have this time.
That's right. Grandparents want to take them for the night. Let's go. Right? You get to live out your passion and do some spontaneous things, which I think is super awesome. Yeah. Let me ask you this too, as being near the mountains. When you get out to the mountains to ski or snowboard, which one do you choose, ski or snowboard?
Yeah, that's a good question. I've been snowboarding for a long time. Well, I grew up when I was 4 years. This is what we do here, right? So I was 4 years old and I started skiing. I skied until it wasn't cool to ski anymore. Snowboarding was so cool. And I kind of kicked myself for making that change. It's nice that I know how to do both, but skiing it's honestly a lot easier in my opinion. So I've snowboarded for a really long time, but I'm getting back into skiing and I'm actually enjoying it a lot more because it's a lot simpler.
What's the worst crash you've had on the mountains in snowboarding or skiing? Can you remember one, or are you careful and you don't really have accidents?
Oh no, when I was younger, I definitely had some spills, but I've gone off some pretty large jumps, and I kind of clipped the tail of my snowboard on a pretty large jump, and I luckily I didn't hit my head. Like I just kind of like hit hard and knocked the wind out of me, and like I think I lost a glove at one point in time. It was a full-blown yard sale, but it wasn't. Luckily, it wasn't too damaging. I just was like had to sit in the snow for a while. Other than that, it was okay.
I got a great story about a wipeout. We go skiing. I was snowboarding, but we went like 5 of us went skiing and snowboarding on the East Coast, which if anyone knows the East Coast knows that it's mostly ice. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's just Ice.
Ice.
Yeah.
Ice. And so we go at night, and I won't mention his name. We go with a buddy, with a few people, but my buddy who's so confident in everything he does. And we are coming off the lift, and he just goes, man, I'm just going to show off on this ride. You know, we've been here for an hour and a half. I'm just going to do all kinds. And he's on skis. He's like, watch me carve up this mountain. And this person is 6'5". I have to mention this because when I mention what happened, it's surprising that he'd end up getting flown out somewhere to shock trauma. So it's icy, it's dark, only a few people on the mountain. And he starts showing off to the point that he's not wearing skis that you can go backwards on.
And he's still going backwards?
But he's like, I'm going to go. And he does this turn, and he's like in front of a friend of ours, and he's just like laughing, like, watch this, guys. And he's going full speed, and he turns. And I've never seen the person who's 6'5" do so many somersaults from head to toe on ice with the skis not falling off until the last hit. He was like,
oh, wow.
And then skis go flying, gloves go flying.
Right.
And when you see somebody that big falling and doing cartwheels down a mountain like that, you're like, he's going to the hospital.
Yeah, right.
But luckily, he's like one of the luckiest people I know in general in life. Right. Luckily, nothing. But it was just the funniest thing to see this guy showing off.
You can laugh about it now that he's okay.
Yes, now that you can laugh now. Completely didn't even nothing. Like he was maybe sore, but nothing else. But it was the funniest thing to see him turn and flip, and it was just hilarious to see him show off and completely just wipe out like that on ice. And that's why I think he wanted to go backwards, because it was so icy. He knew that the skis would still slide.
Right.
Didn't work out the way
Didn't work out the way he wanted to.
There may have been some drinks involved too.
Well, yeah.
We'll say that.
Speaking of drinks on the mountain, I grew up. My dad is an interesting cat. I love him.
I love your dad.
But
yeah, he's a great guy.
He always used to have his drink of choice when he was on the mountain. Because my dad was probably still is. He hasn't got up there in a while, but he was a phenomenal skier.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, better than me. I don't care how. There's no way I could surpass him. He was just that good. And he always had. I always smelled it. I just remember the smell on the chairlift, because he always had a nip in a flask of Goldschlager. That was his drink of choice on while skiing. Okay. And it's like, I was like, oh man, I can't do that. But yeah,
no,
a little cinnamon schnapps. Oof.
Ooh, I mean, it'll definitely warm you up.
Yeah, for sure.
It's I could never get too many drinks in me during skiing or snowboarding, because it's just too scary.
It's so dangerous. Especially if you get up in anything above a blue, you're really not you're not in good shape if you have anything in you.
Anything happens. It's wild like that.
Yeah.
So two more little things, and then we'll wrap this thing up. Let's talk pets for a second. Do you, first of all, cats or dogs?
Dogs all day. Yeah.
Dogs all day.
All day.
How do you feel about reptiles? What's your position on reptiles?
I personally would not own a reptile. However, I own a feathered reptile. I own a parrot. So
I see a picture of one behind you.
Yeah. And which is actually kind of funny, because my mom's an artist, and she did that piece when she was in art school.
Yeah.
And and she gave it to me a long, long time ago. And it just so happens that I married a woman that had a parrot. So it just worked out that way there.
Does it look like that or no? What does the parrot look like?
No, he's it does kind of look like that, just different colors, just green and yellow. He's an Amazon parrot.
Big or small? How big is he?
I mean, probably about as big as this.
Oh,
so pretty big.
I'm comparing parrots to bottles. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's easy, yeah.
And does he talk?
He does, yeah. Too much. My wife is upstairs right now, making sure that if he starts saying anything, that she just gives him a cracker and he'll stop. Literally, like Paulie want a cracker type of situation. That's exactly it. I'm just all right, just have the crackers around. I don't want to hear him. I can't deal with that right now.
Oh, I love it. When you guys start singing around the house, because I know you're both musical, does he ever chime in and
he actually kind of does. He does. he'll just kind of like hum along a little bit. Like it's pretty funny. He's the things that he picks up on are hilarious because he will like if he hears a phone ring, he'll automatically say hello. Like that's yeah.
Really?
And
Oh, that's so cool.
and now he's trained our dog. Unfortunately, anytime he makes this specific sound, my dog just starts barking because he makes the sound when someone's like walking by our house. So then the dog knows, okay, someone's walking by the house, even though my little corgi can't see that there's someone walking by the house. So now he's barking. I'm like, damn it, why do we? This is the worst thing that could happen here.
He knows. He knows how to trigger your dog to bark.
Oh man, it is so silly.
That's the best.
I mean, believe me, if you would have told me 5 years ago that I would own a parrot, I would have told you, yeah, no
They
chance.
live a long time, Paul. They live a long time.
No, like we're going to have to will him.
I think
Somebody.
you will.
Like he will outlast us. He's 10 years old, I think, and I'm 31, so yeah. Now he lives till 80.
Oh.
So
You're
I know. I believe, like I said, I would not. I never thought I'd be in this position. I have warmed up to it. It is actually pretty cool a lot of times.
Can I tell you?
He'll be on his cage and then fly in, just kind of perch on my shoulder and just hang out. So I mean, it's pretty cool.
I see a song in the future, the Paul and his parrot song.
Yeah. Yeah, Paul's parrot. That sounds
Paul's
like a silly.
Paul's parrot. I gotta see it. I gotta see it happen.
Okay. All right. We'll try and yeah, we'll try and see if we can get something together. I swear, like kind of like a little Dicky. I would rather do like a funny song than I would a serious song, even though I've only wrote serious songs. But
No.
I would love to do a comedy song.
It's got to be a funny song. It's Paul's parrot. I mean, this is it.
Yeah.
It's happening. So look, we'll finish it with this. We finish with this. It's always the last question that we always ask. What are you doing the rest of the day?
I am. Let's see. What time is it? I'm probably gonna stop working for sure. And I think there's a walk in the future with the dog. I might go hit balls. I'm a big golfer, so I might go hit balls, practice a little bit, and yeah, hang out with the wife. I don't think not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. Have a nice little evening with the wife. She's off today, so it's great.
Nice, perfect. I think that's lovely. That's perfect. Well, listen, you enjoy your amazing day and go sports in Denver. I believe you have a game coming up today too.
Yep. Avalanche coming up here soon. Yep.
Come on, let's see that win. So,
Yeah,
Paul, always a pleasure, my man. Thanks for spending this time with us, and I'll catch you soon, man.
Yeah, thanks, Alex. Appreciate it, man. It was fun.
Paul.
All right, take care.